Hi everyone, my name is Eva Henderson. This is my occupational sleep profile and mindfulness. Let's jump into it. Sleep and mindfulness are really important to your health and your daily functioning, especially in my life, but I'm sure in the lives of others. Poor sleep can affect parenting, work, school, self-care, and mood. Occupational therapy recognizes sleep as an occupation. So I'm going to go over sleep and mind-body connection, my personal profile results for the sleep profile, my sleep improvement plan, my mindfulness overview, my 4-day mindfulness experience, and the effects that sleep has on my occupational performance. The mind-body connection is the relationship between mental, emotional, and physical health. When stress and anxiety affect your body, that's an example of the mind-body connection. Or physical fatigue is affecting your mood and your concentration. That's another example. Sleep is really important because it restores your brain and your body. It improves your concentration, improves your memory, supports emotional regulation. Obviously, it increases your energy levels when you sleep. It's like recharging your battery. And then it promotes healing and recovery, which is very, very important. Poor sleep can cause you to be more irritable, anxious, tired, unable to focus, and not participating in occupations the way that you normally would. The purpose of the sleep profile was to identify the routines and habits that we have surrounding sleep, find barriers to the quality of our sleep. Like, are we not getting enough sleep because we don't have a good nighttime routine to help our bodies shift into the time of rest? And this is going to help OTs create interventions. For my personal sleep profile results, after reflecting on my sleep, I realized that it usually takes me 1 to 2 hours to fall asleep. I lay in bed for a really long time. Sometimes I'm watching TV, sometimes I'm doing homework, sometimes I'm just scrolling on my phone. I wake up also very frequently, usually every 2 to 3 hours. This is mostly because I have anxiety about my daughter has asthma, and so I always go in there to just like listen to her breathe because it makes me feel calmer to know that she's breathing okay. But it also affects my sleep because I'm waking up so frequently to like calm my own anxiety. So I would say due to not being able to fall asleep quickly and waking up frequently, I'm only getting about 4 to 6 hours of sleep per night. I like to take naps, and I would love to take a nap every day, but that usually doesn't happen. It could be every other day. Sometimes it's even every couple of days. But I try not to do it too late in the afternoon because that could affect my actual nighttime sleep. I also realize that a lot of the times I sit in my bed to do homework. And I realized that I should probably find a different space to work. So that way I can connect my bed to the place that we go to sleep. I'm in the middle of a divorce and I work 2 jobs and I'm a parent and I'm in school, as I'm sure like a lot of us have some of those similar things going on. And so I think a lot of stress from that is also affecting my sleep. So what I learned after I did my sleep profile is that stress does strongly impact my sleep and my habits around getting ready for bed and actually going to sleep and the time of day that I do my homework. You know, I do it pretty late at night after my kids go to sleep. That's actually worsening my sleep quality. Um, I've also realized that I use naps or the weekends when I don't have to work as much to catch up on my rest instead of having the same amount of rest every single night. I'm not sleeping a lot for like 5 or 6 days in a row and then sleeping a lot on that last day. So my current barriers, like we discussed, I'm doing my homework in bed, I'm taking long naps, I'm not going to bed at the same time every night. I do have a lot of anxiety from checking on my kids, and I just have a lot of high stress things going on. My new sleep plan is that I'm going to be doing my homework at a desk or a table instead of sitting in my bed to do it. I'm going to try to stop my homework by 10 p.m. Just so that I can have like 15-20 minutes to like wind down, try to like get into um, a more set bedtime. Um, and then just have a nightly routine that helps me wind down. I'm going to try to practice mindfulness every night before I go to sleep because I realized when I was doing the mindfulness 4-day experience that like taking deep breaths and doing a body scan and checking in with how I was feeling, it actually helped me feel tired. If I do feel like I need a nap, I'm gonna like set a timer, like a 20-30 minute timer, and see if I can feel like my battery is charged a little bit, but that I'll still be tired when it's time for sleep. And then I want to keep the same wake up time daily, which right now I wake up at about 7:15, which is a good time for me to wake up, I feel like. But I want to do that every day, and so I'm not sleeping really late one morning to just catch up on my sleep. And then I'm also pretty good about walking and going to the gym, and I think that that helps me sleep better, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Um, I'm expecting that this is gonna help me fall asleep faster, have better quality sleep, not be as tired in like the middle of the day. Um, and then I think I'll be able to be a more patient mom and have better focus on my schoolwork and my job. Um, so what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is focusing on the present moment without judgment. This really helps the mind-body connection because it reduces your stress response. And this is, it helps you like slow your breathing, relax your muscles, and helps you more self-aware of maybe you're holding a bunch of tension in your jaw from stress, or maybe you always have your shoulders up high like this, so you're able to like relax your shoulders a little more and just be aware of where you're holding your stress in your body, I think. So the benefits is that this could lower anxiety, improve mood, improve sleep. I also think this is better coping skills, especially with emotional regulation, and just overall improved well-being. So on day one of my mindfulness practice, I felt really overwhelmed and anxious. We were heading into the lab weekend, and I used some breathing meditation, and I definitely felt calmer afterward. On day two, I was really tired from traveling. We went to the lab. Um, I had to travel by plane to get there, so I was just feeling really tired and kind of stressed from my travels, and I could tell that like my jaw felt sore from clenching from the stress that I was holding. So I used body scan meditation, and I felt a lot more relaxed afterwards. On day three, I was giving my kids back to their dad so that they could spend the week with him. And I felt really emotionally drained because I'd had a really busy couple of days, and so I felt like I didn't get a lot of quality time with them. And that kind of stress was causing me to have a headache. So I sat down and I closed my eyes and I did some seated meditation. And I just felt a lot calmer and a lot more balanced and kind of had a plan for all the things I was going to get done while the kids were with their dad, and I kind of gave myself something to focus on. So that did help a lot. And then on day four, I was really worried about my daughter's asthma that day. And I just kind of had a lot of racing thoughts, and I just felt like I was holding all my tension in my shoulders and my jaw and my neck. So I did a breathing exercise and a body scan, and I did that right before bed, and I felt just like a lot more peaceful and more in control of the situation. And I was able to go to sleep pretty soon after that. So I think at first it was pretty hard to focus on meditation. My mind kept getting like distracted and not, I felt like it was not an easier thing for me to start, but after doing it for 4 days, I definitely think that it got easier with practice, and that it reduced some of the stress that I was having. Even if there's some things that are not in my control right now, I kind of felt like I was able to focus on the things that are in my control, like the way that I am holding my stress and the way that I'm taking deep breaths, and kind of rerouted my thought process a little bit. So the positive effects of this is that it lowers stress hormones, reduces muscle tension, improves breathing, calms racing thoughts, and improves emotional regulation. And I would say improves emotional regulation was probably the biggest one for me. This helped with parenting stress for me, emotional transitions, like giving my kids to their dad to spend the week with him. This reduced a lot of jaw and neck tension that I've been feeling recently. And I definitely think that I fell asleep quicker on the nights that I did the mindfulness versus before when I have not done that. So I think that I feel pretty good about mindfulness. I'm like supportive of that, and I think that it is supporting me as I've got a lot of things on my plate right now. It's free and it's very simple to do. It wasn't hard to learn how to do it. It's just having to like remind yourself that this is something that you need to think about and something that you need to be mindful of. And I think it was really effective for me. And it's not hard to do even for busy schedules. There was even a couple times where like I was driving to work and I was like, we're going to start off our day with a little take some deep breaths. So that was helpful to me. So in conclusion, sleep is a necessary occupation. I feel like I learned a lot about how OTs can help with sleep, even if they're just teaching mindfulness to other people. Like I can definitely see how this would be important in an occupational therapy setting. I think that poor sleep can affect all of your roles and all of your responsibilities, and I hadn't considered it in that way before. I really appreciated being able to do the sleep profile because it showed me how my stress and my habits are impacting my sleep quality. I never thought about the fact that like not all sleep is the same kind of sleep, and how being prepared for sleep can impact the way that you sleep. So I think mindfulness definitely improved relaxation and emotional control. I think starting off small like this and making these little small daily changes can definitely improve occupational performance. So this is something that I would really like to continue doing. And as a future occupational therapy assistant, I definitely better understand the value of sleep and why we have stress interventions. These are my references. I recommend checking some of these out. They were pretty educational to me. I really enjoyed the one about the college students where they did a pilot study with Stanford University. That was pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Bye!